Okay. Damn it! Why did I? Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sound Cake, episode number 9. Sorry for the long ass delay. This winter has been some bullshit.
This winter was pretty awful. I don't even know if I can. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but like, the holidays were nuts. So we'll just jump right into it again, as if nothing ever happened.
Yep.
Kind of like a social, an awkward social situation with your parents. So, let's we are going to watch a movie called Kingsman: The Secret Service. I really loved this movie when I watched it. I think it came out in 2014, and I didn't really expect it to be as good as it was. I was just having like a crappy time, but like me and my friend decided to go see it, and I was actually it's a great time to have, I guess, and watch. I just showed you the trailer.
Yep.
What did you think?
I think it looks really interesting. Like, it's not something that I expected from the title that you told me about. Like, you kind of explained it to me a little bit, but like, I definitely wasn't expecting it. So, like, as soon as I saw the trailer, it looked a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. So I'm really excited to watch it now. Should be good. Should be a good time.
Also, like, I love the old like Bond movies. You know, it's kind of making fun of that in a way. Actually, in a lot of ways. Yeah, we'll just jump right into it, and we'll be back in a couple seconds for you guys, but like 2 hours for us.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
You're such a loser. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, and we're back. We just watched Kingsman: The Secret Service. What did you think, Nicole?
I really enjoyed it. It's not the same as your typical action movie. The CGI was amazing. Their stunts were very unique. I've never seen stunts like that done in a movie before. I love the casting. They used old, like, really well-known actors as well as new people in Hollywood to kind of, I don't know, like, show them off and like give them a start to a great career, which I think was really cool. The weapons that they used were also very unique. The science behind the movie was very well understood as well as intelligent, so it's not like your typical movie where like science is involved and the director tries to make it sound, super profound and intelligent to the point that like people who are watching the movie don't even understand what the fuck is going on. So yeah, it was a very, very good movie. It kept me interested the whole time. Usually when a movie is about 2 hours long, I pass out halfway. Don't really care to finish watching it, but it grabs your attention like right from the beginning, and the attention is on the movie the whole time, which is very rare for action movies like this that are a little bit different. So
Yeah. One of my favorite things that like grabbed me with this movie the most, like when I saw it, was the way the action scenes were shot. Normally, like what I notice in a lot of like American action movies is when people are having a gunfight, it just shows one guy on the camera, he's shooting in a room, he's like bang, 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 and then it cuts to the next guy, and he's somewhere else in the room shooting, he's going, bang, 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 but like you don't know where they are in relevance to each other in the room, and therefore you don't notice like the risk that's involved, and you're just seeing one guy shoot, you're seeing the other guy shoot. Same with like hand-to-hand scene, or like fight scenes. You just see like a lot of people go for like the shaky camera in a way, if you've seen any of the Jason Bourne movies, where like it's just super shaky and you don't really know what's going on. Like you have a bunch of like close-ups and you're like, who the fuck is hitting what? Who's hitting who? And in this movie, I like how like the really long takes. Like another like director that does that a lot was the guy who directed Whiplash and La La Land. Like that freeway scene in the beginning was all done in one take.
yeah.
And if not, then they're really good at like cutting the two takes together and making it seamless. And that's like one of my favorite things. And I think it's more of a trend these days to use, or a trend like coming back these days, that's using really long takes, because that's something that watching like old musicals that I really enjoyed. It's just like the super long takes, and you can just really see like the direction of like the scene and where it's headed, and you get like a better idea, obviously, of what's going on. And in terms of like Kingsman, when they see, I don't know, when you can like get an idea of the surroundings, especially in the church scene, you really get a sense of like the risk, and I think you care a lot more about the what's going on and what the outcome is
Yeah.
of the scene. And I love that it's like an old, or I guess it's kind of like a play on the old spy movies, where they kind of address that in several scenes,
Yeah.
where they're like, yeah, it's not that kind of movie where it's they do have like some of the cheesy lines, they do have some of the old tropes like the gadgets and the suits and getting sleeping with international women.
Yeah, and like the part with the dog where the one guy asks one of the main characters what he named his dog, and he's like, oh, JB. He's like, oh, like James Bond. It's like they incorporated that into the movie as well in like a really subtle way, which was really cool. But the dog was not named James Bond.
No, Jack Bauer from the show 24, Kiefer Sutherland's character. But yeah, also one thing, like, even though it did have all like the typical spy movie stuff, and it did kind of make fun of that, like the movie seemed very self-aware. Like it didn't seem like it was like taking itself too seriously, and either like becoming a spoof of a direct like action movie or spy movie. It knew that it was a joke, and it didn't really take itself too seriously. It didn't try to over explain things like you said about the about like the science behind like the gadgets and like all the different tools that they use in the movie. They didn't go like too in depth with it and try to over explain and drag things on. I think like in going back to like the casting, I really like people. I guess people who really love movies, like they always talk about like these new movies coming up or something, and then try to like, or like sort of made up or hypothetical movies, and then they always try to make like, they always try to cast it themselves. And people were like serious about a like a Batman movie, and people were trying to cast like Robin and Batgirl, and they're talking about casting like Robin as a girl this time and stuff like that. But if they had like, I'm just kind of sorry, I'm going off, but if they have like a Robin and like a Batgirl, I'm pretty sure I would cast Taron Egerton and Sophie Cookson like Roxanne and Eggsy as probably Robin and Batgirl. I think that'd be pretty cool alongside Ben Affleck. But
Also the jokes in the movie itself, like it was very humorous. Like it was supposed to be like a serious movie, obviously, like it's an action movie. It's with spies and really action orientated, but then there's like it's just like funny, like the way that like some of the actors like talk in it, and like their humor like really came through in their characters, and that part was also really enjoyable because it's not like you're sitting there and you're watching this movie really intensely and it's all serious. Like it had really, really funny moments to it too, which kept it really interesting as well.
yeah, especially towards the end, like when there was so many moments of like build up, and then it like the pressure was off, and then the pressure was on again, and it just kept doing that. Like the first time when he's being chased down the hallway and stuff like that, like and then everybody's heads explode, and then that part is a wonderful part. And then it took like a moment, and then it introduced that princess again. She came back, and they talked about like giving her a kiss, and then all of a sudden again like the tension builds because Valentine, he's still alive and everything like that. And then you had the fight, but like it kept switching between that like disco song with like people killing each other, which was hilarious, and then it went back to like the cave where they were actually fighting, and then you had like serious music again. And I think like it was really good at balancing that comedy and action, especially like comedy in the action, because that's what I guess old Bond movies did, was add like a little bit of comedy into the action and like those really bad one-liners and stuff like that. Yeah, it's I definitely did not expect to enjoy this movie as much as I did when I saw it. I'm really excited for the second one coming out. It's supposed to come out this year.
10 out of 10 would recommend and would watch again.
Yeah, it's so fun. But I think like movies like this kind of make me think that an Archer movie is possible. Like finding that balance of like comedy and like some like spy stuff. I really want to see an Archer movie. Anyway, so let's go to some like would you rather stuff.
Okay,
actually.
we haven't done this in a while, so this is very different because it feels like I haven't done this in like years and it's only been a few weeks. So let's jump into some funny stuff.
Yes, I feel like it's been like a month. Nearly. Okay. First question.
Who is more attractive, Jennifer Aniston or Angelina Jolie?
Jennifer Aniston.
That's so difficult. I think I would go with 90s Jennifer Aniston versus 2000s Angelina Jolie. Like 90s Jennifer Aniston definitely beats Angelina, but 2000s Angelina beats 2000s Jennifer Aniston, I believe. So.
It's so difficult for me because like we saw Office Christmas Party,
Yeah.
and we've seen Horrible Bosses, and Jennifer Aniston in both those movies is still just killing it. So, I think
she's just like she's so hot. Like everyone that I know used to love Angelina Jolie so much. Like, she used to be so profound in like conversation and stuff. And now she's not really mentioned much anymore. But Jennifer Aniston like has always been like the number one person. Like almost every single person that I ask at like parties, because I go to parties to talk about hot people. Every person that I've asked at parties, it's like, who is your favorite, or like who do you think is the hottest actress? And 9 times out of 10, like everyone will say Jennifer Aniston. Just she pops into your head as soon as you ask that question. Like she is so hot. I don't know. I have a really big thing for Angelina Jolie. I think that she has something very special, but then Jennifer Aniston just fucking kills it. So it is a hard answer.
that's the thing. Like I used to see Jennifer Aniston in Friends when I was little, in the 90s, but I also saw that movie where Angelina Jolie played a model, and it just brings up that inner turmoil. What's that movie called again? Is it?
I can't remember.
It's very simple. I think it starts with a G or something. It was like autobiographical. It was a biopic of this model's life. But anyway, it is a super difficult.
What I like about Angelina Jolie is that she can act like really fucked up characters, whereas what I like about Jennifer Aniston is she can act out like really sexual, like intimidating, like woman characters. So like that's kind of my like where it gets difficult for me to answer, because I love like the whole fucked up area of like movies, you know, like Girl Interrupted, like Angelina Jolie fucking killed it in that movie. But then, like, in Horrible Bosses and in Office Christmas Party, like, Jennifer Aniston is such a cunt. I just love it. Like, it's so attractive. I don't know how to explain it better, but...
I think in terms of... Alright, so Angelina Jolie has only done action and drama. You know, and I can see that serious side, and to me that's not, like, quite as attractive. I think Jennifer Aniston, like, she has that comedic timing. She has the comedic timing, and she's also been super serious even in comedy movies. She has been it's very easy for her to be a bitch, and I think that to have the comedy, like the chops for comedy, and to be, you know, dramatic and to be mean, I think, like, for me the edge has to go to Jennifer Aniston.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Like, I watched The Switch a few days ago, and, like, I love her in that movie. Like, she always does a good job.
Okay.
Let's go with Jennifer Aniston for this one.
All right.
I still really fucking love Angelina Jolie, though, but...
Yeah. 55% of people think would rather Jennifer Aniston. I would like to know what Brad Pitt thinks.
Ooh.
Ooh, would you rather stop using YouTube or stop using Facebook?
I would stop using Facebook. I love YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube. YouTube can always cheer me up. Um, Facebook has kind of gotten old. I have transferred more into Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr.
Oh, wait.
Um,
The stipulation at the bottom is YouTube means no video sharing websites at all, like Vimeo, even like Pornhub. Facebook doesn't mean, or it means like any social media network,
Okay.
and you can't watch videos on Facebook either.
Okay, that makes it a little bit harder. Probably still YouTube because I am such a Vine fanatic and I am so shook that Vine has been like deleted. It doesn't exist anymore, but the amazing creators on YouTube have saved Vines and made compilations so I can go back and keep watching them, and Vines like actually cheer me up. Like they are my favorite thing that the internet has ever fucking come up with. Social media, on the other hand, I am sick of seeing politics. I'm sick of seeing everyone's fucking dumbass opinions. I don't know. I feel like social media in the last little while has just deteriorated. Like, it's just getting shitty. Whereas, like, YouTube content and stuff is getting better. So I would still probably rather go with YouTube.
Yeah, same here. It definitely like with your point there. Like I think to me, I learn a lot more from YouTube than I do from Facebook. And people, okay, it's great to catch up with people on Facebook, sure. But people that I really care about and people that are close to me have my phone number.
Yeah.
And I can talk to them like that way, and I can see what's going on in their life. And if they really feel the need to send me a picture or a meme, they can do so via phone.
Yeah.
And like YouTube, there's so much more there, and I feel like it's not okay. I'm probably gonna get crucified for this, but like I'm gonna say that it's probably not as biased as Facebook, because Facebook's, I think, algorithms are different for what you see, because it always shows ads that are relevant to your interests and stuff like search history. But YouTube, sure, it'll do the same. However, it's like if you can search for it, like it's there. And you have other video sharing websites as well.
Exactly. And the thing with YouTube is that if somebody, like if a YouTuber or whoever is using a YouTube channel and is making videos, if it's a very controversial kind of video, if they are answering questions based on opinion instead of fact, they are able to turn off the comments. So people can't comment and, start this big riot on a YouTube video. Whereas on Facebook, if you share something that someone doesn't agree with, or if you say something that someone doesn't agree with, you're either going to spend hours long fighting with people that you care about, having to get rid of the trolls on there, or you're just going to have to delete the post, which is, like, you have the right to post whatever you want, but with such controversial things, especially with, like, politics going on right now, and like stuff like abortion shit and like all of those kind of opinionated posts, it's just drama. Whereas on YouTube you can see someone's opinion and you can keep your fucking opinion to yourself if the comments just aren't available to you, so you can't comment on it, which I feel is a lot easier because you can still view someone's opinion without needing to comment on it. And if you don't like a video, just fucking exit. Whereas people see it on Facebook, and the more that people comment on a certain Facebook post, the longer you see that fucking post on your feed, and it drives me absolutely crazy. So YouTube, simple. You just go to a different video, you find a video that you like, you can watch something funny, you can watch something serious, you can even find full movies on YouTube. And, if you don't like something, you can just fucking exit and never have to search that specific video again. You can unsubscribe. You can do whatever the fuck you want to. Whereas on Facebook, like, you don't necessarily want to delete a certain person just because of their opinion, but you have to keep seeing their posts, and then you make one comment and all of a sudden all these people are attacking you because they have different opinions and blah, 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 whatever it may be. YouTube is just better.
In my experience, like comments and arguments on Facebook are so much more personal. I would much rather argue with a stranger on the internet than I would with like a family member or a friend, because honestly, Facebook it leaves people entitled, and I mean so does YouTube. I mean the internet does that to people. Like if it's anonymous, you can be whoever you want and you are entitled. But I feel like if it's Facebook, like people just like they feel betrayed, like they feel personally offended if they see somebody that they know um, post like an opinion that isn't aligned with theirs, or maybe they thought of somebody a certain way, and they post evidence to the contrary. But I would definitely still go with YouTube because I like making things for everybody to see. Sometimes I like creating, obviously, like with what we do with Soundcake, and I would much rather just focus on that and keep putting that on YouTube rather than, like, I don't know, do it for just like friends and family. I mean, of course, like I love it if like friends and family enjoy this. However, it's just like I want a broader audience, and I'd much rather like get a stranger's opinion.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, that boils it down pretty much for me. I'd rather have a stranger's opinion sometimes rather than a close friend.
And no videos on Facebook either. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? That's literally all Facebook is anymore, other than fucking dumbass opinionated posts and like fake articles. Like, you only see videos or articles on Facebook anymore. No one really posts like statuses that really mean anything anymore. Like, Facebook is very video oriented. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I would much rather stick with being able to see something visual, be able to like pick what videos I want to watch instead of scrolling through Facebook just reading dumbass opinions all day. So YouTube.
True that. All right.
So,
what? Oh shit. Okay, I chose the wrong one, but 81% of people would stop using Facebook over YouTube. The 19% of people are probably soccer moms. With that haircut? Yeah, you know the haircut I'm talking about.
Let me speak to your manager.
Yeah. Oh, I think we answered this one. Would you rather stop showering or stop brushing your teeth? This includes all aspects of either cleaning your body, bathing, washing, and cleaning your teeth, flossing, mouthwash, etc.
This is disgusting.
It is. I think we asked your little brother that.
Did we?
We did.
I can't remember what he answered. Damn. Stop brushing my teeth. If they eventually all fall out later, I can get dentures, which isn't that bad. But like, if I completely stopped all other hygiene, I feel like I would go fucking crazy. Because who cares if you have nice teeth if you smell like fucking trash?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would rather stop brushing my teeth. Look at that. 64% of people agree. Okay. Would you rather be a sports star or be a celebrated academic?
Be a celebrated academic, I think. If you're a popular sports star, there's gonna be people who really dislike you either way. Like, you're gonna have haters, you're gonna have people who love you. I mean, talent is one thing, but if a sports star does something really fucking stupid, it's all over the media. Whereas a celebrated academic, like, you're doing something that is intelligent, it's something that's smart, it's something that other intelligent people want to see and like listen to, so like you don't have these random like dumbass people, like shitting on you if you do something stupid. It's, you have intelligent conversations and you make these really cool discoveries and stuff if you're a celebrated academic, and people quote you all the time. Whereas with sports stars, like, they get shit on all the time. So I'd much rather be a celebrated academic, I think.
Yeah, me too. Like, the reason being is that, like, to be a sports star, people watch me for their own entertainment. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that there's anything, like, wrong with that, like, especially because I used to act on stage in high school, and I loved it, and I loved when people, like, cheered for you. It's a great feeling. I can understand, like, what if somebody wants to do that and they're passionate about that. But I think, like, if I was like an academic, say, if I'm like a professor, then people watch me to, educate themselves. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm making a difference. And not to say that like sports hasn't helped people before in the past, but it's just, I think it's just a matter of like preference and like which route you want to take. They're both like practices, and you have to keep practicing and you have to keep bettering yourself in both of these, like, I guess, professions. I would rather be an academic solely for the fact that I hate sweating.
Yeah, that's true. Also, man, I just had a thought and I totally forgot what I was gonna say. I love it when that happens. Oh yeah, with a sports star, there's gonna be people who won't even like the opposite team that you're playing, and they will cheer for them just to like want to see you lose, and that just sucks. Like you said, like I'd much rather be there for people to watch to get educated rather than for their own entertainment.
Yeah, besides, like, if you're a sports star, then I think by law you have to marry a Kardashian. So, um, actually, 52% of people would rather be a sports star.
I understand that, like, I understand why lots of people would rather do that, but I think it's all preference.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I think maybe also there's the physical aspect
Yeah.
of it, like, being like super fit versus well read. Here.
Okay, this one's almost similar in a way. Would you rather have a college or university named after you or have a sports stadium named after you? Again, I go with the college and university. Colleges and universities, I feel like, are around for a lot longer. It would be awesome to hear a high school student being like, I want to get into the Hoffman University, instead of people being like, yeah, let's go to the stadium. Like, does anyone actually call a stadium by the name of the stadium? I don't think so. They're just like, we're going to go see this fucking sports, like, game. They usually
Yeah.
they don't really say the name of the stadium ever. They just talk about the teams that are going to be playing, whereas people are actually going to strive to get into, like, your university, which I think that would just be, like, more uplifting, I think.
The only thing I've ever heard was like Wimbledon or the Astrodome. Those are the only two like stadiums I've ever heard of. But versus like how many other like universities have I heard of? Like I want to get into say Ryerson or Harvard or Berkeley or I don't know Yale.
Juilliard.
Juilliard. Yeah, I would definitely still have a university named after me.
Also, like, a lot of people who go into university or college, they love their school. They're almost like patriotic for their school. They're always going to be fans of that team. It's going to be like a home for them for 2 to 6, maybe even 8 years, depending on, what they go to the school for. They're forever going to be, sporting your name on hoodies, on jackets. They're going to try and get their kids into your school, like, whereas stadiums, like, people follow their favorite sports team. Like, if you are a fan of the like a Chicago team, what is it, Blackhawks?
I would have no idea, Nicole.
Okay, what's a good sports team? Okay, like the Winnipeg Jets. Like, I know people who live in Winnipeg who go to every single Jets game and sometimes even travel to different stadiums to just go see the Jets. Like, they don't give a fuck where they're playing. They just want to go see them. So,
Yeah, definitely, because I think we're just maybe a little bit biased here. I don't know. We've been like slightly trying not to shit on sports when like saying that we don't prefer stuff that has to do with
no,
sports.
I've been watching sports a lot more lately. Like, I've been getting into football and hockey and stuff, and like I have nothing against sports. It's just thinking of it from a different point of view, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously that and like cars have never really like the mechanics of each, I guess, or like the rules and like all the technical stuff of sports and or cars have never interested me as much. Anyway, would you rather wear a woolen bodysuit in the Sahara or wear a bikini in the Antarctic? Have we answered this?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Isn't the Antarctic, like, not even cold?
I'm pretty sure it's cold.
I mean,
It's
I know
all
it's cold, but it's not as cold as the Arctic, right?
uh
Arctic.
the Arctic in the Arctic. I don't know.
Okay,
I've never.
I'd wear a bikini in the Antarctic, and I'd find, like, a seal and kill it, and then gut it, and then, like, wear the seal suit.
Have you ever seen that movie, The Revenant?
No. I've heard of it, though. Like, he skins a bear and then wears it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he kills a bear. He also like
Lives in its carcass, doesn't he?
he kills. Well, his horse dies, and he cuts it open, and he sleeps in it. Yeah.
But yeah, I do that because you can, like, choose between, like, being cold and being warm. Whereas, like, I feel like No extra clothes available, and you're not allowed to take off any clothes. You won't die.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
extra comment. So yeah, I wear a bikini in the Antarctic. Fuck that. If I don't die, like that means that I'm gonna get used to it, right?
Yeah, and like I'm thinking of wildlife as well
Yeah.
in the Sahara. Like we've definitely talked about the deserts before. Like there's like big ass spiders.
Yeah,
There's, you know,
scorpions, snakes, camels that spit and sit on you, and just crazy shit.
mm-hmm.
Like the
It,
Antarctic, it's like penguins
yeah,
and
you get
shit.
fucking penguins. Puffins yeah, I think I don't know if that's where puffins are. I know they're up north, but anyway, so yeah, wear a bikini in the Antarctic. Okay, apparently we're in the minority here. We're 46%.
Wait, the Antarctic is like the bottom one, right?
Yes.
Okay, smart. I'm a smart person.
Yes, you are. You are. Anyway, would you rather be visited by ancient aliens or be visited by mole people?
What the fuck are mole people? Are those people that live in the ground?
Yes, neither would be hostile. The mole people would live in the middle of the earth.
Okay, but I feel like aliens would know more about other places rather than mole people. Because mole people would just, like, keep talking to you about fucking magma and shit. And how the world is about to fucking explode. Whereas aliens, like ancient aliens, can, like, tell you about cool-ass shit and, like, where they've all traveled to. Like, mole people just stay in one place. They live in the fucking ground. What the fuck is so great about the ground? No one cares. I want to talk to ancient aliens.
I know, it's hardly even like a question for me, because like ancient aliens, yeah, okay, I'm talking to aliens, all right, which means that since space is so large and I'm able to communicate with other life forms, means that they've mastered the art, or they've mastered the technology to travel faster than light, or to use wormholes, which is infinitely cooler than people who dig around in my shit and live near lava. And like I'm just thinking about like the end of that movie The Incredibles, where like
Oh,
that
yeah.
mole comes out of the ground.
Or that fucker from Atlantis that likes to dig in the ground.
Yeah, like with like, the glasses
He's
and the
all
bug.
fucked up.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna like I'm gonna talk to aliens. Jeez. Yeah.
80% of people agree with us about the ancient aliens.
Like no shit. Oh, okay.
Would you rather eat a rancid mixture of rotten egg and old fish or bathe naked in vomit? Oh my god.
Oh god, I can't. Oh no.
Both would make me vomit. I feel like if I ate the rancid mixture of rotten egg and old fish, I would eventually bathe naked in my own vomit.
That's the kind of night it's gonna be.
Yeah. I can skip the nasty, like, stomach hurting, vomiting everywhere, and swimming in it. I can just jump right into swimming in it. So I'd rather bathe naked in some vomit for like a few seconds than eat this bullshit and then suffer for the rest of the night.
I'm so grossed out. It's disgusting.
That's like literally the worst question. Bathe naked in vomit. 56% of people agree.
Okay, that's good. That's good for them.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like a bunch of people doing this. The next
Can you
question.
imagine like New York City? Like
The subway, like it would just see all the people on the sidewalks like lizards.
Okay, so the question is, would you rather army crawl everywhere or always have bad luck? I've had a lot of bad luck lately and I am sick of it. But like army crawling everywhere? That would suck.
Your clothes would get all worn out, like right on the belly and like on the
Yeah.
crotch and like.
And like you would have to like get your like elbows and knees all calloused up so you don't bleed all over the fucking place every time you want to leave your house. Or like go get a drink of water in the kitchen. You won't be like, okay, wait, you can stand up after you've gotten to your destination, right?
I don't know.
So like am I gonna have to stay on my hands and knees to like try and get water from my fridge? Because I feel like everything would just have to get lowered.
Yeah. I would rather have bad luck.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to fucking army crawl everywhere.
True. Yeah, let's go with the bad luck. Fuck it. Okay, 72% of people would rather army crawl everywhere, and we are in the minority of 28%.
Okay. I'm trying to remember like the difference between these two.
Would you rather have a Brooklyn accent or a Bostonian? Bostonian? Is that how you pronounce it? Accent?
Bostonian, yeah. Hold on. I'm just going to like...
Get it, like YouTube video or something.
I'm gonna pause this real quick.
And we're gonna listen to these accents.
Please stop recording. Okay, so we watched a quick couple videos on how to do these accents, and I can't for the life of me
Do the Brooklyn one.
I can't do Brooklyn.
Boston is really like easy to do. Just even saying Boston.
Boston, yeah, in like getting the khakis, you know, it's almost Australian, and Brooklyn is almost English,
like a Cockney English accent.
Yeah.
Like your lips are really pushed forward, and you almost sound Italian.
Yeah. Would you like sound a little bit more like an Australian, or would you sound a little bit more like Cockney, like from London town? So
I don't know. What do you think? I think I would rather probably Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The Boston one irks me a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'd rather go Boston actually, but okay. I'm at the 34% and you're in the 66.
I mean, it's fine. I feel like people don't really realize that Bostonian accents are a thing, whereas everyone knows that a Brooklyn accent is a thing.
I've definitely heard more of the Boston accent,
really?
though, than I have of the Brooklyn, yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay, would you rather give up Christmas or give up your birthday?
Christmas! Fuck Christmas. I hate it. I love my birthday. Birthdays are fun.
Yeah, I'd rather give up Christmas because the birthday is like, mine is in May. It's like the last day of May, and right in June, so the weather is nice, and I can go out and do things nicely. I know, like, I won't get really like time off work because of my birthday instead of Christmas, but still, I don't know. I think I'd rather celebrate me and my friends.
My birthday's in October, so everything's really pretty, and it's fall, and it's a week before Halloween, and everyone's just in a good fucking mood because everyone loves fall. And then you have people that take Christmas either way too seriously or not seriously at all. There's so many people that I know who absolutely hate Christmas because it's so family oriented, and like, not everyone's family is perfect. A lot of people hate having to act as if your family is perfect. I know that people hate family functions. I personally hate family functions. And I don't even have a lot of extended family. Like, I just celebrate, like, Christmas with, like, my parents and my brothers. But even that is just tiring. Like, Christmas is, like, a whole almost 2-month fucking process. You're spending so much money. It's, like... And then you have that really awkward stage between after Christmas and New Year's where you don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. Like,
yeah.
Everything's confusing around that time, so just get rid of it. Christmas is dumb. Oh my god, that comment says, if your birthday is Christmas, you don't get either. If you don't celebrate Christmas, pick another gift-related holiday.
Yeah, so you can't even, like, you can't go from Christmas to Hanukkah, or, like, Kwanzaa, or, what other... I forget, but
yeah, give up Christmas because fuck that shit. Okay, 39% of people want to get rid of Christmas over birthdays.
I think just because like people want that chance to get together with their family more, but I would say like, why don't I just hang out with my family and friends on my birthday too?
Yeah, exactly.
Which I mean, it's just what I do, but like not to the degree where everyone is high strung about it and like buying gifts, because like I feel
like the older you get though, you sort of despise your birthday because you don't want to get older, and like the older you get, it's like you like Christmas more because you know you like seeing your kids happy and you like doing all of that kind of stuff. So I understand where people are coming from with the whole Christmas thing. I've just never liked Christmas personally. I'm just a really negative person, I guess. Not really, but it's just an opinion. Yeah, I feel like the older you get, the more you like Christmas over birthdays, I feel. But I feel like I'm always gonna just really love my birthday. I just love like having birthday parties. They're so fun.
Yeah, birthday parties for me are a lot more low key. I mean, like, not like low key as in like stuff that happens, but to the degree that we care about it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not stressing so much over like cooking everything for my family and I don't know, buying gifts for people. And it's not about like people buying gifts for me because like for my birthday, I don't really care about gifts.
Yeah, me neither.
It's just that I can still spend time with people and I don't know. It just
The longest that your birthday celebration could take is 2 days. You know, you spend one day with friends, one day with family. It doesn't even have to be on your birthday. It's just like a celebration. Whereas Christmas, like I said, like there's family gatherings every fucking weekend starting in October all the way to January where people are still, you know, going to different family gatherings. Like everyone's trying to book trips and everyone is freaking out, and then there's that stupid goddamn Boxing Day dumbass fucking capitalist bullshit. And I think people just take it a little bit too seriously and they stress themselves out. And just knowing that suicide rates go up like almost double than like any other time of the year because some people just don't get to have a good Christmas, and you see some of your friends getting, you know, these amazing gifts and spending so much time with family, whereas my family, we don't really like do gifts. I have to go to church. I'm not religious. Like they make me go to church and we have a supper, and then, you know, my little brother gets presents and like we get a few knickknacks and stuff like that. That's like my Christmas. And when I was younger, personally, like coming back to school after Christmas break and all my friends being like, yeah, I got a new computer, you know, I got a new like gaming system, I got a new instrument, you know, I got all of these cool presents. Like I went to Mexico, I went to Cuba, like whatever the fuck. And there's just, no one has an equal Christmas. And like no one has an equal birthday either, but I feel like birthdays are a lot easier to like make better other than Christmas. Like you don't have to see other people having like a much better time than you on your birthday versus Christmas.
yeah. No, yeah, that's completely true. I think like the way I think of it. So I think a lot of it for me is like the weather as well, but because I guess like suicide rates go up in Christmas time at Christmas time, and crime rates go up during the summer. So
Yeah.
like I don't know, it does that's just like a useless correlation. But anyway, next question. Also like feel free like if you want to like comment below on like what like your opinions are over like the decisions and like what you would choose and like your reasoning behind that. Just be civil please in the comments. Would you rather yell a swear between every word or get punched in the face after every swear?
I swear a lot. Maybe it would give me a reason to stop swearing. I feel like yelling a swear between every word would be very awkward in a working environment, like a professional environment. That would be weird. But getting punched in the face after every swear, like, I feel like for the first, like, few weeks of me trying to, like, stop swearing, and it says that they are hard punches, I would probably die. Like, someone would probably punch me so hard that, like, my brain would explode. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I would rather get punched in the face after every swear. I can go without swearing. That's fine. But to yell a swear between every single word.
It's just a lot. It gets annoying. I even notice that in myself. Every time I swear, I'm just like, I need to shut up. Like sometimes I just get so riled up, like I just swear all the fucking time, and yeah, it gets annoying. See, I just did that there. Damn it.
I don't even know if that was intentional or
It
not.
wasn't. It literally just slipped out.
Yeah. I mean, it's everybody at this point. Like, we're 9 episodes in, and it's like an hour almost every episode. And if they don't know that you swear yet, then they are deaf. And
Problem.
yeah, deaf people, why are you listening to a podcast? Wait.
It's a really rude question.
Was it?
I feel. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they have captions. I don't know. Turn on the captions for a podcast.
I feel like if we post a video on YouTube of our podcast, we have to create our own captions.
Okay, so no one will ever know. That's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so get punched in the face after every swear to keep myself from swearing. If you had to be tortured, would you rather enter a Sicilian bowl or wear Spanish boots.
We have to look up these
I think
torture.
I know what a Sicilian bull is. Okay, let me just. I can Google it on
Okay.
my phone real quick. Ooh, disgusting.
What?
The Spanish boot is an instrument used for torture interrogation, variously designed to cause crushing injuries to the foot and or leg. The boot has taken many forms in various places and times. So, yeah, they pretty much just strap these things onto your legs, like onto your calf?
Yep.
Calves, yeah. And then I guess they just like squeeze them together, and then like they break your legs and your shin and your feet. Whereas the Sicilian bull is it's in one of the Simpsons episodes where it's like a bull, like this fake bull created or whatever, and they stick people into like the chamber or whatever, and then
in the
like,
bowl, and then they light a fire underneath.
And then you literally like cook inside of this bowl and until you die.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Fun fact: the guy who invented that for a king, the first person to have that used on was the guy who invented it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. It was like this guy. He invented it for the king, and then the king put him in it and killed him that way to see if it worked.
Damn.
Yeah. So be careful what you invent, people.
So I feel like Spanish boots, you could still come out alive, whereas in the Sicilian bull, you would die. So I would go with the Sicilian bull, because torture, death. Whereas the Spanish boots, torture and then broken legs, and I'm not down. So let me just die after the torture. That'd be great. Thanks.
Well, would you rather like live in a wheelchair, or would you rather just die?
Die.
Okay. Wow.
79% of people would rather just live with their broken ass feet.
I would. I definitely would.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand that.
Would you rather live in Tokyo or Hong Kong?
Good question.
I haven't been to either.
No, me neither. Is Tokyo the one that's way more populated?
I'm pretty sure. Unless you want to look up the population of each, but
No, I don't feel like looking it up. Tokyo is great. It's very cool. I love Japanese stuff. Hong Kong seems pretty fucking cool too. So I don't know. I think I would go with Hong Kong, personally.
I think I'd go with Tokyo. Simply because like lately I watched that movie Lost in Translation, and although I did like that movie, I don't know, like people I guess always talk about that movie like very fondly, and like people love that movie, mainly hipsters who I don't know, but and like I liked it, I really did, but it just didn't like strike me in the way that people say like it affects them. So, but although I did love the way they made that city look, and if anybody wants to persuade me, if anyone's like a huge fan of China, they can comment below.
Actually, I want to change my answer to Tokyo as well. China is very polluted, a lot more polluted than the coast. So
Yeah.
go with Tokyo. Yep, 83% of people agree. I mean, I know that Hong Kong is a beautiful city, and I know that it's probably not as polluted as other parts of China. Just because of that, I feel my opinion kind of changed.
Okay, yeah. Would you rather stay in school for the next 30 years or leave school after second grade?
I would probably stay in school for the next 30 years.
Same.
Now that I'm graduated, like me and you both dropped out. I dropped out in grade 11. You dropped out in grade 12, right?
Yeah, but you were in grade 11 the same time I was in grade 12, right?
That's true, yeah. So we dropped out around the same time, and then we graduated together. I definitely do regret dropping out for some reasons and not for other reasons. I'm glad that I've graduated now, but I really miss a school environment. Like, I wish that I could go back to high school being my age now, because I feel like it would be so much different. I feel like now, as I'm older, I'm a lot more serious about learning, and I'm really looking forward to possibly going to university in the next few years. or college or whatever kind of other thing that I decide to do. But I feel like the older you get, the more you the more you start to like school. So I'd much rather be in school for 30 years and, you know, like not have to worry about having to grow up as soon as you graduate when you're 18. Like I'd much rather graduate at 30. That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a lot more to learn. Whereas if you leave school in second grade, like it's really up to you if you succeed or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like in second grade, you haven't even learned currency yet.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. And like you don't everyone's life is so different. Like if I would have stopped going to school after the second grade, I barely knew the English language. I was completely new to this country. I feel like I wouldn't have learned the same things that I would have. Yeah, like I feel like I wouldn't have really learned as much as I did now, having like left school in the second grade. Like my parents aren't very educational. Like my parents aren't the type of people to teach their kids stuff. Like I had to teach myself how to cook and how to bake, and you know, my dad never taught my brother how to work on cars. Like my brother had to figure it out himself. My parents just aren't that. Like I know other parents who would love to teach their kids stuff like that. But for me personally, I would much rather have stayed in school for 30 years rather than stop going to school in the second grade. So I feel like I would be even dumber than I am now if I left the second grade. It's different for like everyone else though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like if you stay in school, like say if you you still get like your summer breaks and stuff like that. Say if you just because some people do that where I guess not like stay for 30 years. Like say if you started like what you go to school when you're 5 years old, you go to kindergarten. You're leaving school when you're 35, and that's not a very old age. That's still lots of time to I guess to work. However, like, okay, what if like I guess if you go through all grade 12, and then just you get like your summer break, and then that fall you just continue into university like a lot of people do, and maybe you just stay in university for like the next several, I guess 20. No, 8 years. I don't know why I thought 28. Maybe I should go back to school for 30 years.
I can't do math.
Yeah, I can't do math right now. Yeah, I would much rather stay in school for the next 30 years, especially if it's in like a university environment.
And yeah, people can still balance jobs. They can still balance relationships while in school. And once you reach like a certain age or a certain maturity level, whether you're 16, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, it takes some people years to like know what they want to do. And by the time that a person is 25 and having graduated 7 years ago, it's just so much harder to get into university when you're 25 and you've had 7 years of no education and just working. I feel like just jumping into like more schooling, just more academics, and really figuring out what you want to do just gives you a lot of a more bright future, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even if you have to go to school for 30 years, if you don't want to go anymore, just drop out, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you can do it as a 16-year-old, you'll be able to do it as a 24-year-old, no one cares.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like also growing up, you know, you're given this deadline of grade 12, you're going to graduate, and then you can go on to do whatever the hell you want to. As much as teachers and parents want their kids to like go on to university and stuff like that, a lot of people are just waiting for their high school diploma. And I feel like if you had more of a choice, if you could either stay in school or drop out whenever you wanted, instead of it being such a timeline and such a like squeeze in to finish it in grade 12, I feel like it would just be a little more relaxing. Like I have friends now who are graduating this year, who just can't get themselves to do the work, you know? Like they're graduating, like they want to go into university in September. It's now only January. They have 9 months to complete school, to move wherever their university is, and to start university right away. That is stressful as hell, and that is not as much time as a lot of people think.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if people just had more time where it was a little bit less stressful, it would just be better for everyone else. So, yeah, that's just my opinion from what I can see in my friends and family and stuff like that.
Yeah. So definitely, like, we chose the stay in school for the next 30 years, and 51% of people would rather do that.
So it's almost 50-50.
Almost. I'm gonna go look for the last question here because it's getting late. Would you rather have a significant other that doesn't speak or have a significant other that doesn't listen? The description at the bottom says, "Why are you in this relationship still? Because you've been together since high school and nobody else understands how in love you are. The bond you share is too special for words, and that's why."
I think, okay, don't take this out of context. I would rather have a significant other that doesn't speak because we could still communicate in different ways. There's still a way for us to talk without actually having to talk, you know? Like, we could write things down. We could, I could hand my partner a book and be like, this is, what I like, blah, 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 this is why I like it. And then they can just, like, write words back. It's like dating someone who's mute. Whereas, and they still listen to you and they still take in the information that you give them, and you can still have, like, a conversation with them, just, it's a lot quieter, which is nice. Whereas a significant other that doesn't listen, people who tend to not listen to you tend to talk a lot. And being so undermined or feeling like someone isn't listening to you already hurts enough, let alone knowing that your partner isn't listening to you. Like, why would I want to date someone or be with someone if I'm, like, yelling at them through the shower? Like, if I'm in the shower and they're in the kitchen and I can, like, smell that the toast is burning from the shower and I scream at them, hey, you're burning the toast, and they're not going to fucking listen to me, and then I'm going to be running around naked because my house is on fire.
Oh, because you don't listen.
Yeah. So, like, I'd much rather be listened to and not have to listen to a response back, I guess. Like, because listening by reading, like, what they wrote down is still, like, listening technically. Like, I would much rather them actually understand what I'm saying rather than them having to constantly, like, talk to me about stuff that they're not gonna want my opinion anyway. How are we supposed to have an intelligent conversation if everything that you say has to be validated by me, and whatever I say you're not gonna listen, so.
Exactly. It's just like, you can, I guess, with somebody who doesn't speak, I'm saying, like, speaking in the sense of using your mouth to create sounds and words, and, like, I guess you guys can still use sign language. I still talk with my hands a bunch. That would be a great outlet for me. Also, like, it's just, like, sometimes you just, somebody like that you're close with, you can definitely just tell what they're thinking by looking at them and, like, looking at their expressions, and you can almost just, like, immediately tell what they're thinking right away.
There's a better chance for an emotional relationship rather than constantly wanting to be validated, It's like eye contact and being able to, like, use your hands and, like, see their expression on their face as they're listening to what you're saying, and vice versa, is a lot more, I guess, healthier for a relationship, rather than you talking to your partner and they're, like, straight up not listening to you. Like, I probably wouldn't date that person for very long. I'm like fucking sick of it.
No, yeah, like, I feel like people who can't speak, like, I'm also thinking about people who are deaf. When they use, like, sign language, I feel like I know it might not be the same case because this person is still here, they just can't speak, but like deaf people rely a lot more on facial expressions and body language, and I feel like those are dead giveaways to what people are really thinking. Like, when people talk, they don't always say what they mean, or they can't. So, like, I feel like deaf people probably understand people a lot more, or a lot better, but in this case, I guess they can hear, they just can't speak, so that might not exactly be the same case. Nonetheless, like learning how to read sign language, that's the only skill you would need.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, maybe not speaking it because they can still hear, but just, it seems a lot more logical, I guess, like that.
Yeah.
That decision, it seems more obvious, is what I mean.
And I mean, every single day there's probably someone who falls in love with someone else who is deaf, and has to go through that anyways. And then I also know of a lot of relationships that struggle because one of them isn't listening to what the other one is saying,
And I feel like you can just have a way better bond with someone that you can fully understand. And even if you have to learn to communicate with them, it's still bound to be a more meaningful relationship rather than constantly struggling to have your partner hear you out. I just feel like it's emotionally, mentally, and physically better to be with someone who would rather listen to you and not speak over someone who can hear you and will talk to you but won't actually listen. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like what you said before about like having relationships where somebody can't like listen to you. I don't even think I can have friendships with people who don't like
Yeah.
hear you out first, or I hear out my friends first, and I hope that they hear me out. And like, if I can't even be friends with somebody who won't take what I'm saying into consideration, or like if they're calling me their friend anyway.
Yeah.
So like if I can't do that with friends, how am I supposed to have a relationship with somebody, like a romantic relationship with somebody who won't listen either?
Exactly. A very wise person told me that when you talk to somebody and you can come to terms and you can each express your own opinion and take each other's opinion into consideration, that is a discussion. But when you are constantly throwing your opinion at someone and that other person isn't taking in your opinion and reevaluating it, that is an argument.
Yes.
So, would you rather argue with someone all the time, or would you rather have a discussion with someone that couldn't technically speak?
Yeah.
As in, like, forming words, you know? I'd much rather discuss shit in a quiet manner than fucking argue all the goddamn time. Whether it's with a significant other, a parent, a brother, sister, friend, who cares? I don't like arguing. It's dumb. There's no point.
Yeah, I absolutely hate arguing, and I don't I don't like yelling at all. I don't like yelling at people anyway. So, yeah, definitely have a significant other that doesn't speak. And yeah, 79% of people would rather do that, and it just makes sense. But anyway, that is the last question we're gonna do for this episode, and we'll, I guess, thank you for sticking through this for 9 episodes, and we'll probably be back with another one sometime soon. We don't schedule these things, so I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for listening.